It's no secret that the pandemic has affected almost every industry in the world one way or another. The gaming industry has seen a huge uptick with everyone being stuck at home. Retail shops have closed down due to people not being able to work, therefore not having funds to purchase the goods. And of course, the film and TV and live entertainment industries have completely tanked because, well, you know, Corona and all. So to no surprise, given the circumstances of not really being able to work on top of the politics that have appeared to pretty much ruin what was once referred to as the City of Angels, it seems Los Angeles has become quite literally a living hell. It's not nearly as safe as it used to be, with drug use appearing to be at an all-time high, as well as homelessness, with people literally not being able to afford a place to live. It seems Los Angeles is no longer the hub for celebrities it once was. Will it ever recover? Who knows? What I do know is today on I.O. we're counting down the top 10 celebrities that left Hollywood during the pandemic. Smash that like button and let's go. Starting us off at number 10, we got Joe Rogan. I think one of the first notable celebrities to leave the entire state of California, and vocally do so. Rogan is known as the guy from Fear Factor to some, and a podcast host to others. To most, he's known as a bro, but to me, he's the best UFC announcer right behind Jon Anik. I love you, John. All joking aside here, guys, Rogan, who recently signed his $100 million deal to have his podcast exclusively on Spotify, decided he was going to move to Texas, which seems to be a popular destination for a couple people on this list. It seems living in California, you get used to the warm weather, but Texas and California appear to be very different, especially when it comes to politics. Used to be total opposites, but it seems that's changing. Either way, when speaking on the move, Rogan explained, I quote, "I want to go somewhere in the center of the country, somewhere you have a little more freedom. I think where we live right here in Los Angeles is a little overcrowded. I think it's exposing the fact that it's a real issue when you look at the number of people that are catching COVID because of the overpopulation issue. When you look at the traffic, the economic disparity, the homelessness problem, I think there's too many people. Every mayor does a job of doing it because I don't think anyone can do a great job of it. I think there's certain things you're gonna have to deal with when you have a population of whatever the F LA is. For the record, guys, LA's population is about like 12.5 million at the time of this recording. On to number 9, Zac Efron. Yeah, the guy from High School Musical, remember him? Who could forget him? Oh, what a face. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw his Netflix show Down to Earth with Zac Efron, but it was actually very interesting and educational. He seems like a total bro, and I loved every minute of it. Zac, if you're watching this, DM me. I feel like we could hang out and be friends. Only issue here is that I'm living in Toronto, and Zac, he recently moved out of Hollywood and is now living in Australia. I mean, they still got Zoom. Regardless, Efron here appeared to be on his way to being one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and for a while, he was absolutely killing it. Then he decided to head to Byron Bay just to take some time off. With no projects, he was taking it easy, and then the pandemic hit. Zac decided to extend his visa and canceled his flight home to LA in August after making an offer on a home in Australia. Seems like he's gonna be kicking things down there for the next little while. Up next at number 8, Julia Roberts. Talk about a pretty woman. Only a few of you guys will get that one. Reports claim that Roberts and her husband, cinematographer Danny Moder, were selling a handful of their properties in order to deal with the lack of income due to the pandemic. Specifically, In Touch magazine claimed they were hurting financially and selling their homes, but it seems that was just tabloids doing what they do, making up some stories to sell the magazine. That being said, Roberts and her family did sell their New York and Hawaii properties in 2015 and 2016 respectively, but that didn't have much to do with financials. However, the family did move out of Los Angeles and decided to relocate to a smaller home in San Francisco. Now, if you're normal, smaller maybe, you know, means she went from, I don't know, like a $5 million house to a $3 million house. Maybe she's a celebrity, so I'm gonna assume it's a lot more. Like, obviously, the average person isn't living that much of a house, that expensive, but because she's a celebrity, I'm gonna say it's a little more costly, right? Well, smaller for Julia Roberts is apparently still a home worth over $8 million. So there's that. Maybe one day, my friends, maybe one day we'll get to that level. Maybe not. On to number 7, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. This power couple appears to have left LA during the pandemic, but have since returned due to various work commitments. Still, while they had the time off, Blake, Gwen, and her 3 kids decided to head over to Blake's 1,200-acre ranch in Oklahoma. Gotta make sure I get that one right. Where they resided until about July. You'll see why I said that at the end of this video during the comment replies. While speaking with Ellen, Shelton explained, I quote, "Like everybody else in the world, just pulled the plug on our plans and went to Oklahoma. It was cool because Gwen, the time that she spent in Oklahoma over the years has been like a week here, a week there. But she got to be there and actually see it go from pretty much winter to spring to summer and see some seasons change. And it's actually the first time that I've been able to be there for that long to see that all happen again. So we loved it. It's unclear if they're going to make a permanent move there, but given the rigorous work schedules, I'm not entirely sure that'd be possible. Still, with that being said, as we've clearly seen, this pandemic has dragged on much longer than any of us ever thought it would. I mean, like, come on, it's still going here. So who knows what's in store for these two and their family. Number 6, Josh Brolin. Maybe he's not on the tabloids or news as much, but boy is Brolin one hell of an actor. I mean, clearly it's in his blood, as his father James Brolin is also one hell of an actor, but we're not here to talk about actors, Jared. We're talking about celebrities leaving Hollywood. And that's what Brolin did. He left Hollywood, so clearly I'm doing my job still. He made the move alongside his wife Catherine Boyd, and the two of them moved to her hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. In September of 2020, Boyd took to Instagram sharing the news of their recent move back to Atlanta. I quote her Instagram caption, "It's truly a beautiful, bizarre feeling moving back to my hometown. Not sure how long we will be here, but all I know is it feels so good to be home. Feels so good to have family stopping by on their way and hanging on our front porch. The two have a 1-year-old daughter and a son on the way. Halfway at 5, James Vanderbeek. The Dawson's Creek alumni took to Instagram letting everyone know he and his family were leaving Los Angeles for good. I quote, "Sometimes a fuller life begins with an empty house. Leaving Los Angeles, incredibly grateful for all the friends and memories we've made here. On to the next big adventure." Kind of wish he was like a Full House alumni with that caption, but anyways. His wife Kimberly let fans know they'd be relocating to Texas, where they're planning on raising their 5 kids. However, on the way east, they also decided to adopt 2 puppies, which made their family just a little bit bigger. Kimberly's Instagram caption reads, "Today we left our home in Beverly Hills to embark on a new adventure in Texas. As we began our 10-day road trip, we decided to adopt 2 new rescue pups from @Wagmore Pets to bring along and bond on this journey. Their names are Windsor, Blue-Eyed and Gray One, and Abel. Abel means breath, and we need a lot of breath right now. Rocky and Sky bond with them right away." On to number 4, Gigi Hadid. It seems the entire family, accompanied by Gigi's boyfriend Zayn Malik, moved to Pennsylvania of all places during all this. Shout out Philly, go Eagles. Got my Deshaun Jackson jersey hanging up right there. It seems the family actually has a farm of sorts and decided to live a more natural life while everyone else was being told to stay locked up inside. During an interview with Harper's Bazaar, which I probably said wrong, she said, I quote, "The farm has really made me remember and bring back to my life my most simple pleasures. It's allowed me to fill my days off with the little things that make me happy, like art, gardening, yoga, cooking, being outside, and spending time with my loved ones and animals without having to worry about things like what I'm wearing or how my hair looks or being photographed or seen that day. Being away from the city and the public eye makes me feel like a kid again, and that freedom has been really healing for me." Now at number 3, we got Kanye West. I mean, this is a weird one because as we know, the tabloids will print whatever they have to in order to sell. There were reports Kanye moved to Wyoming and was living there to deal with his mental health issues. Then more reports came out that Kim and Kanye were taking a break, leading to the producer and rapper to move out on his own. There were also claims that Kanye moved out to Wyoming to have an affair with Jeffree Star, but we did numerous videos on that already, so I'm not gonna get into that. Now, regardless of the why, I think it's more likely than not that this whole pandemic had something to do with the move. And now with talks of a divorce, who knows if Kanye will ever make a return to LA. At number 2, we got Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. Now it seems when you make as much money as these two, homes can be bought for the price of a coffee. Nicole Kidman and her husband Keith Urban have homes in LA, Nashville, 2 homes in Australia, as well as a condo in Manhattan. They purchased a Beverly Hills home back in 2008, but it seems they've been spending the majority of their time in their Nashville mansion, which they also bought in 2008 for a $3.4 million price tag. A source explained, I quote, "They've been spending a lot of time in Nashville. There they can give their kids a more normal upbringing. They have been talking about getting rid of the place in LA. That being said, it's important to note that these two have considered Nashville home for some time, although that could be due to the fact that they have a 0% income tax rate, which has allowed the country singer and actor to do quite well for themselves over the years. It's believed they have a net worth of a few $100 million, and as I mentioned before, have numerous properties in Sydney and Bunya Hill, Australia, Nashville, Beverly Hills, New York City, and who knows where else. However, given the circumstances, it's unclear if they're going to be keeping that LA pad. And just to clarify, they might have been living in LA, but put their home residence as Nashville to pay lower taxes. And in at number 1, Elon Musk. Quite recently, Elon decided to sell his 4-property compound, because that's the only word that can describe it, with his sights set on moving to Texas. After selling the Bel Air home for about $62 million, reports are claiming Elon is going to head down south, where he is also planning to build Tesla's new $1 billion factory. Safe to say this guy isn't hurting for cash. Flirting with the idea of moving out for a while, Elon explained if a team has been winning for too long, they do tend to get a little complacent, a little entitled, and they don't win the championship anymore. California has been winning for too long, and I think they're taking them for granted a little bit, them being business people and innovators. Following law enforcement forcing a shutdown of one of his factories in California, which he would then reopen anyways, leading to a COVID outbreak, actually, Elon decided enough was enough and he was going to move, even though that last part with the outbreak at his own factory was on him. And there you guys have it for the top 10 celebrities that left Hollywood during the pandemic. Let me know your thoughts on this one down below. And if you could move anywhere during all this, where would you go? I'd probably go, I don't know. I don't know, maybe the Bahamas, I don't know. For now, let's plot some comments from the video. Top 10 funniest moments from Donald Trump's presidency. Hooks included said, Jared saying, Tulsa is just wrong and adorable. I said it again, didn't I? It's Tulsa? Tulsa, it's Tulsa, it's Tulsa, right? And I said Tulsa? That takes us to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa? How do I say it? Tulsa. I say Tulsa. It's Tulsa? Tulsa. I don't know how to say it, guys. It is what it is. But that's why I said Oklahoma, because I could say that properly. It's one word in the whole video. Just give it to me. AP said, as an American and a Democrat, I have to say that since this whole presidency was such a raging dumpster fire of bullshit, it does feel really good to laugh at some of these less harmful stories. Brother, as an American, I mean, I'm half American, I live in Canada, but as an American, in regards to politics, I can't even say I identify with either side anymore. I just have beliefs, and either the left or right agree with my beliefs, and then I can decide who I agree with. That's how I see it. But I agree with you, my man. That is not a good representation of what America is. And I know a lot of people saying, yeah, it is, this is what it is, but what happened what's been happening, all of this, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what America is then. I don't know. It's just like truly it's heartbreaking to see. I mean, we're all humans at the end of the day. Like, Ariana Bollinger said, when Jared says smash that like button, I mean, who could not? Love from Switzerland. I appreciate that. Love from Canada. And we're gonna end on that note, guys. Smash that like button for your boy. We'll see you soon. That's definitely not bizarre. It's like Bazaar or something. I'm gonna say this wrong and you guys are gonna call me out for it. And that's just the way it is. During an interview with Harper's Bazaar, I'm gonna say Bazaar. And that freedom has been really healing for me. That actually sounds really nice. I feel like I need that.